Welcome back and thank you for joining us for our holiday edition of MLC Today. I am Ricky Whitmore on Breaking News and World News, Julianne on MLC News, Special Reports and Sports, Jeffrey, our History Guru, Spencer on Movie News, our outstanding backup crew, Madison, Dominic, Ben, and Nick, Tom on Weather. We have a special reunion interview tonight because two of our former anchors are joining us later in the show. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of hot chocolate, and enjoy the show. In breaking news tonight, since Tuesday was Pearl Harbor Day, that's what my story on breaking news is tonight. Pearl Harbor Survivor Group we won't disband yet. Honolulu, the Pearl Harbor Survivor Association, will continue for at least a while longer. The group's president, Art Hereford, said Monday that about 100 members voted against this banning, deciding instead to keep the 52-year-old organization alive. Hereford, 88, said old age makes it difficult for members to organize their biennial meetings and handle other duties, but they don't want to throw in the towel right away. Some of these old duffers, if you tried to do away with the organization, you'd have them all to fight, Hereford said after the group met in Waikiki a day before the 69th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. A vote count was not provided. And in world news tonight, debt-stricken Ireland unveils 2011 budget. Debt-stricken Ireland unveiled a tough new budget Tuesday, changing the income tax system, raising taxes on gasoline and diesel fuel, and reducing benefits for parents. Dublin is cutting 6 billion euros, nearly 8 billion from its budget as it tries to claw its way out of massive debt. But it held fast to its low corporate income of 12.5%, with Finance Minister Brian Lenihan calling it a cornerstone of our industrial policy and our strategy for export-led growth. Opposition politician Eamon Gilmore slammed the plan, saying the government had chosen to slash and burn and create even more problems for the Irish people. Irish lawmakers were due to vote on the budget Tuesday night. It seemed likely to pass by a narrow margin. The new budget is based on a 4-year plan of public spending cuts and tax hikes announced by Ireland last month as a way to tackle its massive debt. Ireland agreed last week to 85 billion euros, about 113 billion, of financial support from the European Union, individual EU states, and the International Monetary Fund. The goal of the aid, the government said, is to return its economy to substantial growth and restore the health of its banking system. The 4-year austerity plan achieves savings through welfare cuts worth 10 billion euros, 13.2 billion, and higher taxes expected to bring in 5 billion, 6.6 billion. And now on to Julianne with MLC News.
Hello everyone, welcome to the special news for the MLC Today, the MLC News. Everyone is gearing up to leave for Christmas break, in which we all are very happy to leave. Some of the students will be leaving Wednesday, but most of the students will be leaving next Friday from the MLC. Well, we will need a break and to get ready for the busy next semester for the New Year's. We will be turning back to school on January 2nd of 2011. For the special news, yesterday was John Lennon show. It is about the Beatles, about a member of the Beatles, and it was in memory of him. 2 of the students of the MLC and some staff went to the concert. It was held on First Avenue. It was held on the anniversary of his death, it was a tradition that I wanted to tell you all about it, and it was really good show. Off to Tom with the weather.
Hello, and welcome to Weather. Weather in the U.S. Total snowfall in the cities for the winter so far is 16.7 inches of snow. In the weekend forecast, Friday mainly cloudy, snow overnight, high of 25, low of 15. And then Saturday, snow and windy, high of 17, low of minus 15, 6 to 12 inches of snow possible. And Sunday, December 12th, partly sunny, cold, high of 0, and a low of minus 10. Now on to sports with
For sports, I am doing the story on Jets versus the Patriots. The Jets are playing the Patriots on December 12th, 2010 at 8:30 p.m. in New England. The Jets won their first meeting of the season with a score of 28-14. They want to make this major statement and be able to beat their rivals, of course, the Patriots. So they are going to take time and take it easy and even relax and even spend time with their families before getting ready for their big game. Everyone knows that they are unstoppable and hoping to win the game. Next, let's go over to history with Jeffrey.
Hello, mateys. I'm reporting on Swashbuckle for my rock. They were formed in New Jersey back in '05, and it's a trio for the most part, but mostly, of course, sing about the pirates. And they also do stuff on YouTube. If you go, it's kind of hilarious. It's just a bunch of shenanigans and like CD record reviews and all sorts of stuff. And they have piratey names too. And now on to regular history. Now I'm talking about the holidays, because we're kind of in the holiday season. I'm going to begin with Halloween, which is a holiday that was adopted by the Catholic Church from the ancient Celts that would kind of give out treat or go to like their cemetery or whatever and provide some or do stuff to ward off evil spirits. And so that was adopted by the Catholic Church. And then Thanksgiving, well, it was originally a harvest time kind of a religious holiday, and that became a secular holiday, and eventually became an official holiday in 1863 during the Civil War. And then Hanukkah is the Jewish celebration of the Maccabean revolt against the Seleucid Empire, which was a successor state of Alexander the Great. Christmas is the celebration, a cross between the celebration of the birth of Jesus, with the date itself was actually originally a pagan Roman holiday. That is kind of a celebration of the winter solstice, but because at the time nobody knew when Jesus was actually born, so that's what happened, was the adaptation of the pagan holiday. And Kwanzaa is actually a African American holiday that was started back in '66 to celebrate African heritage. And Festivus is a secular holiday that started by a writer guy whose son was a writer on Seinfeld and made it popular through that show. And now on to more MLC Today Show.
Welcome back. And we are ready for our reunion interview with Jordan and Mark, last year's anchors on the show. Jordan, Mark, thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you. Mark, the first question is going to you. What are mandatory fun activities like in GLC, and are there any differences between how MLC does activities and how GLC does them?
The GLC activities are not mandatory, and like every week we are given an RSVP email. We are to let Kristen Martin, the GLC assistant coordinator, if we would like to attend an activity.
What are the standards for apartment cleaning in GLC? Are they like MLC standards or different, Jordan?
They're a little different because Kristen only comes every 2 weeks, and she really only checks to make sure there's no rodents or infant rats and stuff.
Mark, are the classes in GLC easier or harder than the ones at MLC? And if so, please explain why.
Well, there's hardly any GLC classes except unless if you're looking for jobs, you still have job searching with the Voc crew, and every so often you still would have like advisory with Marnie or Kristen, whoever you choose and stuff.
Jordan, do you have any words of advice to the freshmen who are about to start worksite next quarter?
Be ready. Be dressed to impress.
Okay. Mark, I hear that you have a band concert coming up soon. Where is it going to be at, and what type of music will you be playing?
It's going to be at Southdale Mall, and it's a holiday concert, so it'll be Christmas music. And I know, even though MLC students, mostly MLC students will be gone, those who still live in Minnesota can still probably come to see it. It's at 7:00 p.m.
Jordan, what are some of your favorite activities that you do with the residents at Masonic?
I think my favorite activity has to be when we do happy hour.
Mark, in GLC, do you have to cook recipes and fill out the sheets like we did for Cooking 101 in MLC?
No, there is something that we do every once in a month called Supper Club, where like a certain GLC person is selected to make a recipe, and other GLCers are invited to come, and if it's a kind of time of activity if you want to hang out and just try a new recipe.
I hear there are 3 levels to GLC. Could you describe a little bit of each of them?
Well, me and Mark are in Tier 1, and so in Tier 1 you have the apartment visit, and then advisory, stuff like that, and grocery shopping is provided. And then Tier 2, you still have advisory, apartment visits, but then Tier 2 and Tier 3 you go grocery shopping by yourself.
Mark, is advisory in GLC different than advisory in MLC, or is it the same?
Well, it kind of can be both. Most of the time it's the same. Most of the time it's also majority for me is if I have anything I need to discuss with Marnie, then I discuss it with her. Other than that, if things are going smooth, then the advisory goes pretty short.
Do GLCR members budget checkbooks has a budgeting checkbook class like in MLC?
No.
Mark, do GLC members get more free time than MLC students?
Yes.
What are the curfew rules in GLC? Are they stricter than the ones at MLC, Jordan?
Kind of bad. Going up, Mark. There are no rules, really.
Okay. Mark, is there a set budget for grocery shopping in GLC?
No, I don't think so. But I still mostly when I go grocery shopping, I tend to try not to go over like 40 out. I make a plan so that I don't go spend too much. Because I am also sometimes I have to go spend money for my bus pass and stuff.
And Jordan, are there any apartment cleaning tips that you can give to the freshmen?
Just make sure you sweep and mop and make sure you clean it.
Mark, what type of job skills do you work on in GLC?
Well, I have two answers. That first off, you eventually you'll be assigned like a job developer and a counselor, and there will also be like eventually try to meet like once a week, and where you'll receive like job search assistance and stuff like that. And then another news, I have just recently gotten a job over by Chelsea's Cafe as a dishwasher.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'll be starting after the holidays.
Congratulations. Jordan, are the GLCR students required to go exercising at the YMCA as many nights as the MLC students?
They're not required, but there are times where you can go with GLC, otherwise you can go by yourself.
Mark and Jordan, we've saved the best questions for us. Mark, if you were asked to be part of an SNL skit, which one would you choose to participate in?
Well, I would either choose the more cowboy skit, or I would also maybe even choose Celebrity Jeopardy.
Wow. Jordan, if you could be any person in history for a day, who would you choose to be and why?
Jim Carrey,
Why Jim Carrey?
because I like him so much. He's my idol.
Oh yeah, he's a hilarious person. All right.
Jordan, Mark, thank you for joining us tonight for an interview. We will be right back with Holiday
Thank you. It was
Edition.
nice to be back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be right back with Holiday Edition of MLC Today after these messages.
Hi, this is Spencer, and this is my movie review. Well, this month, the angel of death instead of the angel of Christmas has decided to visit us early this month. And tragically, once again, another great titan of comedy and showbiz has bitten the dust tragically in Hollywood. Leslie Nielsen, famous for Airplane, Forbidden Planet, and the Scary Movie series and the Naked Gun series, has tragically died of pneumonia. He was one heck of an actor. He was the big influence on really the slapstick humor that we now enjoy today. And I decided to honor him. But however, not with a comedy. I decided to throw you off there, didn't I? No, I'm going to be reviewing George Romero's Creep Show, which was an anthology horror film written by Stephen King, nonetheless. And they decided to join up together and create this horror film that had multiple stories, all connected together as if they were the stories in an old horror comic. Well, anyhow, Leslie Nielsen stars in the third story, Something to Tide You Over. And anyhow, this is a really great movie. It has there's one story about a guy coming back from the grave for revenge, and then there's another thing about a monster in a crate. But Leslie Nielsen's was very good in particular, in which he plays a rich psychotic husband who decides to do away with his cheating wife and her lover by burying them up to their necks in low tide. It's pretty actually suspenseful, and it's kind of unusual because it's him in a villainous role, and you just never really saw that before. So, yeah, I highly recommend it for, that's my movie review.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for this holiday edition of the MLC Today Show. I'm Ricky.
I'm Ben.
I'm Nick.
I'm Madison.
I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Tom.
I'm Dominic.
I'm Spencer, and don't call me Shirley.
I'm Mark.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Julianne.
You stay
classy,
classy,
MLC.
Happy holidays.
That was